There are many things that I want to tell you about the model curriculum, and I would just say, to put it in context, I'm contextualizing my remarks largely in relation to the letter that we received from the members of the Jewish caucus. The first question is about why there was not much mention of the Jewish experience, really any mention of the Jewish experience. And I think the Jewish experience has a place in this curriculum and in all of our conversations. If you study what the historic framework has been for ethnic studies, that has typically focused on four distinct groups: African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and indigenous people. And so there was no intentional omission of the experiences of Jewish Americans, but in fact we think that there should be mention of the contributions of Jewish Americans. And we've made many recommendations, and we will be making many recommendations to the Instructional Quality Commission, which is the group that will work on this, to provide examples that better reflect the experience of the Jewish American people, the contributions of Jewish Americans, and the high levels of anti-Semitism that have existed historically and that still do now. And so we believe that the recommendations that we're making to the IQC will address these concerns in a significant way. We want to be clear that to the concern that there's not enough balance in the model draft, we agree that there can be more work done to achieve balance, and we believe, again, that the recommendations that we're making to the Instructional Quality Commission will address that balance and will reflect the experience of many groups. Quite frankly, we are being contacted by many other groups that feel that their story needs to be told. I'll just say, as it relates to Armenian genocide, for example, we have heard from leaders in our Armenian community and many other communities. And so while ethnic studies has a historic framework, I think the task for us will be to establish California's version of what ethnic studies looks like and how we have a conversation. There's no limit on groups who have experienced oppression. And one of the things that I've walked away from this experience is recognizing that we have to make sure that we create a place for all who have experienced oppression to share that. And that's what ethnic studies is really trying to do. And so we have to find a way to better incorporate those stories, and we'll continue to do that work. We'll ensure that there are no examples in the handouts or in any lesson plans that have any overtures to what might be considered stereotypical material. And I'm aware of at least one in the draft that makes a reference to Jewish people in the media. We believe there's no place for anything that makes any overture to what might be viewed or interpreted or construed as a stereotype about the Jewish people or about anyone, for that matter. So we've got a lot of work to do, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that as we go through the day. But I want to give an opportunity for our colleagues from the Jewish caucus to provide some remarks.